Wow, that's... Everything okay? You can hear me, right? Okay, I can hear myself. All right, then, let's start.
Okay, welcome everybody. So just very quick introductions. My name is Ciula and I am technical program manager, but for the last 7-ish years I've been working. I worked in Red Hat Open Innovation Labs as an engagement lead. Following that, I spent some time working as an outcome delivery coach at Stellafy. And most of my work was focusing around bringing the teams on the journey with their platforms. And a lot of that work was done in the company of my great friend here.
Partner in crime, right? So, hello everybody, my name is Cansu. I'm an architect at Red Hat. And as Anna said, we've been working together with different organizations from different industries, basically to bring people, process, and technology together in the most efficient way to solve business problems. And we've been helping companies to start their platform journeys and basically build a platform that fit for their needs, for their purposes, help them to achieve their business goal, and also building the teams that is maintaining and owning that platform. And this is basically what we want to share today. I'm definitely not going to explain what a platform is. Manuel stole my thunder in the morning in keynote. But also you heard the beautiful ladies about what the platform is. So we want to focus on the high-performing platform team concept, which is basically just another stream-aligned actually product team that, or multiple teams actually, but happens to build in these compelling internal platforms for the developers, for the other stream-aligned teams. But being a high-performing mean is like focusing on the outcomes, focusing on the customer needs, building solutions, not getting getting the problems to solve, not just getting the solutions to implement. So basically, it's a team that has a mission, have the shared understanding, and have the capabilities like from product management, from design and engineering, and all the necessary capabilities to build the platform and working together as a cross-functional manner. And this is what we want to take you to a journey together with us, like how to build this high-performing platform team. Sounds good? Cool.
Okay, so building a team is obviously a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. And the elements of the journey that are important for us is to be able to explore them with something. So some people are using maps, some people are using compasses. We've got a navigator. Our navigator is called Mobius, and not just because of the shape, but it's something that we forked from the mobiusloop.com, also known as the outcome delivery. There is actually a really vibrant community built around that called Open Practice Library. That's not something we are going to talk about, but if you are interested after this talk to talk about Open Practice Library, come and find us in the crowd. But let's explain the Mobius a little bit. So this is like kind of a mental model. It's not a framework. It's the way of thinking about how we are going to build a product, build a solution. It brings together loads of practices that are helping us to achieve what we want to achieve. So we start with discovery. The very first loop there is around discovery, understanding why we are building what we are going to build, what's the reason for that, who is going to be impacted, who's going to use it, how they operate, what do they need, what are the most severe problems that they are facing, what are the pain points. And then once we understand a little bit more, we then prioritize and focus on the highest pains that we are going to solve with our product, in this case, a platform. And once we have a set of decisions to make, we start building the solutions that are going to solve our problems. And as we build them, we learn from them, we measure our findings, and we go around the delivery loop from time to time, checking on the discovery, making sure that we are solving the right problem, that it's actually being solved, that the circumstances didn't change, and so on. And in order also to make sure that we've got a sustainable pace between discovery and delivery, we need solid foundations, both on the cultural and technical side. So we are going to take you on a little journey through the charming streets and narrow alleys of Mobius today to show you a little bit of what kind of practices we've been using with our teams and why to get to the destination we want to get. So we are here on the discovery. Our journey starts with why. We want to understand why is the reason we need this platform. What are we going to be able to do when we have it? How is it going to benefit our business? What problems is it going to solve for us? So this is where we start kind of envisioning what is important for the platform. In many cases, when we work with organizations, they talk about like reducing time to market, saving them some money, making some head of digital happy. But typically, it's about making life of business developer easy. That's typically what the ground vision of the platform is. It's super important to understand the purpose, the why of the platform, because what we want to achieve is the ownership.
Exactly. So, as Anna said, we start with why because a clear purpose basically help the teams to decide their priorities, help the teams to decide what they want to achieve. So everyone knows that why this team exists and what these teams are set to achieve. So having this like mission of platform statements helps the team to align on why they are here. And actually having a mission that everybody can get behind it, it brings that sense of ownership. And if a team has that kind of sense of ownership, they tend to bring the best, bring their best basic. Like they tend to do their best in order to achieve those missions. And one way is to do that, like having some defining this like mission of the platform team. But also there are like sounds simple things that you can do to boost this kind of sense of ownership. For example, having a platform name, having a platform logo. Around like 3 years ago, we were in Denmark and we were working with this organization to build a data platform. What we were doing is we were taking the raw data, transforming it, and making it ready for data scientists to consume. And since we were in Nordics, the team decided to call this platform Bifrost. And if you're into Norse mythology, Bifrost is a bridge that connects the realm of gods with the realm of mankind. And they thought that platform name is very suitable to the situation because it connects the data to the data scientists, to its users. And this name sticks so quickly within the organization. Everybody loved it. And from my experience, I saw that team became more like taking more initiatives and trying to do some more experiments, being more innovative because they got that sense of ownership from the beginning of their journey. So it sounds simple, but it's quite powerful to do some things like that as well.
Awesome. So as we continue in our discovery space, we then need to understand what is the ecosystem, because the platform don't exist in the vacuum. We need to understand, first of all, who are our end users, who are the engineers that will benefit from the platform. But the engineers don't exist in a vacuum either. We need to know who are the people who are interested in making their life easier, who is going to pay for the platform, who are the people that can influence how the platform needs to be built, who are the people that can obstruct our platform because they have some interest or maybe they were not informed. So it's really important to understand who is in the system, but also we need to understand the boundaries of the platform. Like if people attended Susan Skaiser's talk, she was talking about the bounded context, trying to understand the space, the borders of the platform. That's the exercise we need to do here. So we use a lot of practices around domain-driven design and worldly mapping and so on, just to understand where the realm of the platform ends, who are the users that we are serving, what are their needs, and so on. And really, at this stage of our journey, we need to understand who, for whom, what do they need, and how can we help them. And this is the start of the journey to win their hearts and souls. So after we know that, we obviously start with prioritizing our end users, the engineers, because they are going to benefit mostly from this platform, but we cannot forget about other stakeholders.
Yes. So users at the heart. So we we want the platform engineers, we want these teams to have this mindset that they're building the platform with developers, not for developers. We want them to basically put themselves in their users' shoes and understand what kind of challenges they are having, what does their daily life look like, what kind of expectations they have from the platform. So we are talking about previously in the panel as well, like they were talking about platform as a product mindset, and having a product mindset means that you are putting your users at the heart of your work and you are making sure that you are addressing their needs. So taking them with this journey together with you and building an empathy with your end users, with your developers is really important. And speaking of empathy, one of the practices that we do is empathy mapping, which is just like in the panel that they mentioned about like doing the user interview. So in empathy mapping, you do these user interviews to answer questions like what their challenges today, what kind of improvement points that platform can bring, what is their pain points, and etc. And platform team observes this interview to capture what kind of opportunities are there, like what kind of things they can do to make their developers' life easier. So we usually do this kind of exercises at the beginning during the discovery phase, and empathy mapping and the other practices that Anna mentioned, practices from domain-driven design like event storming, process mapping. This kind of practices gives us the works to be done, like gives us the experiments that we can do to make developers' lives easier, to accelerate the flow of value, and so on. And it kind of gives us a lot of work to be done. And from there, we need to decide actually now, okay, like we have lots of things, but where do we start?
Decisions. Who doesn't love them, right? So yeah, we've got loads of work. We explored, we understood the challenges, we understood the experiments. We've got the platform backlog that in a nutshell consists of things needed to build the platform, to maintain it, to evolve it, and to evangelize it, because these are typically the things that will be there in that backlog. And but now is we are in the decision space. It's time to focus. We need to think about what is going to benefit our teams in the shortest time the most. So we need to make some difficult decision about what is the highest priority. So one of the things that we've been using is value slicing. It's on the back of the user story mapping that was also mentioned by many people here as used for understanding where the platform teams operate. We need to understand, like maybe in this very early stage, we're just delivering the thinnest viable platform, and what we need to get out from it is just one service. So we organize our backlog on that value-driven, in that value-driven priority. We think about what is going to benefit our business the most in the shortest possible time, and then we set on building that thing. So we know what we are going to do, we know what's the highest priority, and we are going to capture some data to validate that whatever we are building actually delivers the value we want it to deliver. So now we start building.
Oh, sorry. No? Yeah. No? Okay. So this is after we get some prioritized backlog, define maybe the thinnest viable platform. Now we are on the delivery side of things. And Anna and I, we both believe in the power of open source. And one thing that we do in the open source space is release early, release often, get the feedback, and see if you are actually delivering the value that you are setting. You planned in the first place. So release early and release often is something that we practice in our engagements as well, and that also opens up the floor to early feedback to see if we need to go back to the discovery side to course correct, to understand if we want to do more discovery work, to see to understand the domain better, or if we just continue our prioritized backlog. So we set up some environments to invite feedback. One of them is like doing these showcases and inviting the users, inviting the stakeholders, showing them the working product that we've been working on, or like on this left-hand side, a company that I work with, that we were doing these like release notes, release updates about like what are the new capabilities that are coming in the platform, and inviting them for the feedback. And feedbacks help us to actually like measuring how we are going, like I'm learning from it, and then basically validating if we're really on the right track. Another thing is that on the left-hand side, at the beginning we had this open door policy while we were building the platform. So developers were coming into the room, looking at the post-its around the room and seeing like what this team is working on at the moment, what is their roadmap. They could ask the questions. So this kind of helped us to build that initial work together feeling as well, like that kind of an empathy too. So that was me sitting by by a developer but asking us questions, something about the platforms. But we also need to do this continuous measurement. And one way to do the continuous measurements is defining the metrics to show the value of the platform. Yes, we say like the people matter most, so it's mainly about the developer experience, looking at if we are making their lives easier, but also like we are looking at some data. DORA metrics were mentioned previously in the panel, for example, and we are also using some metrics around this developer productivity. Space is a great paper about this. If you haven't read that, it's a great work. So it's focusing about the adoption and the developers' productivity. And we also do some small stuff to invite feedback to help us to measure the user sentiment. Like we had a quote wall in the room in one of our engagements that people were dropping some notes, and we were kind of trying to gauge the feeling towards the platform. Another thing that we are talking about the platform as a product, so product metrics also can help us to measure that thing, because mainly is one of my greatest heroes that Edward Deming says, like, without the data, you are just another person who has an opinion. So you need to constantly measure. You need to check if you are on the right track and find the right metrics to actually show your business, show the value of your platform. So this is another important bit. Yes.
Nice. So that was the delivery loop, and then obviously, in order to keep those two loops very stable, sustainable, we want to focus on building the right culture. We want the culture where we foster collaboration, innovation, and ownership. And the ingredients of those culture are about clarity, about autonomy, about empowerment. So when we talk about clarity, one of the things that we like to use is this concept of connected outcomes. We like to show how our platform team is making impact on the stream-aligned team. Here's an example from our engagement. We're working with this mortgage team, and they needed some service. So we were highlighting to our team how their work reflects on the work of that other team that relies on their deliverables. So that's one part of clarity. When we move on, we've got more tools that we use for clarity. We basically believe in visualizing everything in those information radiators. When we are collaborating in the same room, we put our work, our backlogs everywhere to ensure that everybody knows exactly where we are. We use team APIs for the teams to understand what we are going to do for them, how we operate, etc. That's about clarity. About ownership, so we also use team identity, team mission, team vision. In terms of empowerment, we use tools like Andon Code, where everybody is empowered to stop the work if we are off track. We use confidence vote to make sure that people are aligned with where we are heading in given sprint or given increment and so on. And obviously, we use continuous learning to make sure that we are catching up with everything new and so on. So, because we really believe in this concept of that Dan Pink has been promoting in his book Drive, that what motivates us is autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So, when we look at the culture, we were talking about autonomy and purpose. In terms of mastery, we focus more on the technical side of the loop.
Yes. So that's my domain, the technical side of it. So while we are going through the delivery and trying to balance the work between discovery and delivery, we need to also make sure that we are investing in the right technical practices, like GitOps, everything as code, invest in automation. thank you, invest in automation so that we don't want to build some technical debt from the start, and especially when the platform getting scaling. In the morning, in the actual keynote that Sarah mentioned about that, like how migrates and upgrades takes the time, takes from your flow of value, like the speed of your flow. So actually, you want to start with. You want to focus on these automations and like alert management, so you are not getting any alert fatigues. You are not increasing the cognitive load of the platform teams themselves. So these kind of things, like the eliminating toil, alert tuning, the resiliency, we want to focus on these things. And another thing that is quite important, I'm not a fan of saying golden paths, but it's important to build those common golden paths in a more reusable, modular ways of doing things, because on the platform side, you will most probably address in the common paths, and there will be some teams that maybe need some different slight deviations of those paths, but if you focus on building some reusable components or like modularity, like those Lego bricks, those teams also can take whatever they need, and then they also bring some parts from their use cases and still like consuming your platform services and still focusing on delivering their own value instead of waiting another team to build something for their specific use cases. Another thing that we really believe in, that allocating some time for exploring the technology and new technologies. So we are talking about platform as a product, and product is something that evolves with the technology, especially in like these days that how technology is moving so fast. We always make sure that there's enough slack for our sprints, for example, to get together and maybe mobbing on some mob programming on some new technologies, or maybe doing some lunch and learn, inviting some experts to go through, tell us about these new technologies, and doing experiments to see what is the right tool for our use cases. I put that right tool for the right job because a couple of months ago I was working with an organization that we were building this machine learning platform with them. And they are very used to this traditional software development. They really had some nice processes around applications for like Java applications, Node.js applications, and they were trying to fit the data science process into the same tool set, into the same process, but it was a different, but the data science has different needed. So it's important to spend some time on to figure out what's the right tool for the right job, doing the experiments, and actually evolve your platform for the needs of your users. And lastly, this is something that I'm really, really passionate about, this inner sourcing. One thing that is one benefit of talking with your users, having those interviews, is also, especially at the start, is also like seeing what they are doing at the moment, like what kind of tools maybe they've already built, they already use them happily. So you can actually harvest what they've been doing at the moment and start those as a building blocks when you are starting in your journey. And actually using these in-house, maybe common libraries or tools can also help the developers to bring their ideas or like bring their feedbacks like openly and better. And having this visualization of work, having this open, transparent platform development approach, working with developers to enable them to use the platform, this will encourage them to contribute back. Last year, I was working with a bank in Ireland, and the platform team was providing these cloud-based IDs, some sort of a custom setup for the ID, already baked some configurations, some tools, and developers were using it, and then they were giving us some maybe requests like, oh, I need that, can we update this one, etc. And one morning, we got this pull request, which is one of the proudest moments really in my career, that a developer raised the pull request, explained that why they need this tool set, not just them and another team as well, and they actually updated the configuration and asked us to if we can include this, and platform team they was over the moon literally, and they had the conversation, they expected it, so they started shaping the platform together, and developers were getting involved more and more. So following these approaches will will eventually be a learning organization. Will bring this open source mindset into your organization. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this inner sourcing. Right? All right, tie it all together.
Okay, so that's what we wanted to share with you. That's our ways of working. We love Mobius because it doesn't tie us to any specific framework. We mix and match from any kind of agile, DevOps, design thinking, lean, and so on. We just pick up the practices that help our teams get on the journey of continuous discovery and continuous delivery, supported by solid foundations to get to the place where they need to be. Every journey is unique. You can see we've got Mobius loops from different engagements. Each of them have slightly different practices that we use for our use cases. We just want to make sure that we've got the right culture in place. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So that's all, ladies and gentlemen. We kept 4 minutes for your questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, really good talk. Have you considered utilizing a framework like Double or Triple Diamond to visualize your discovery process? And yeah, that's it.
I think Double Diamond is actually at the genesis of this model because the people who built it, they came together from like a lean product development, design thinking, and so on, and they were trying to embrace that. So if you see similarities to Double Diamond, that's exactly what influenced it at some point. Triple Diamond. Okay, I probably need a little bit more explanation what Triple Diamond is.
It's been evolved by Zendesk. They've built on top of design thinking and included the DevOps model into that, essentially encapsulating all the other aspects that go into building and evolving products. But they included Double Diamond beforehand.
I see. Yeah, so we've been trying to do it slightly differently. We've got like the parallel loops where we start with like a leadership and the strategy. Then we've got like a product and solutions, and then the bottom is like platform and infrastructure. So in that way, we've been visualizing it.
Why don't you like the term golden paths?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like so most of the organizations that I work with, they have this like one pipeline to rule them all type things, and golden paths also. I feel like they also becoming like that. Like they create a golden path and they 1 or 2 or 3 maximum, and then it's like that's it. And okay, but there are like different also little unique needs, and a platform team doesn't usually we see that like they don't have enough capacity to cover every corner case. So it's important to actually give them the means to do things, enable them how these things work together, and give a couple of golden paths to show like how these things come together, and then actually give them enough freedom to bring their own ways of doing things by using those things off the shelf. I sometimes see that they use the same things as one pipeline to rule them all to replace the golden paths. I just try to go away from that.
Who pays for the platform within an organization? Who pays for your work and the tooling and the efforts and the planning?
I think the best answer here is like the question, the consulting question, it depends. Like the platform needs to deliver something for the business, so that there has to be a way for the business cost to cover that, and that cost might come from multiple places. The cost centers will differ depending on the organization, but the platform has to benefit the business. So if it doesn't, then it's just a sunk cost, right?
Exactly. 1 minute left.
1 minute left. Let's. Oh.
Up to you. Okay.
You have to answer really fast, Jansu.
Oh, no.
Thank you for the call, the talk. So when we think about platform engineering, we also talk about developers and kind of like in-depth technical doing. How do you manage all the sugar coating that is needed for developer experience, knowledge management, documentation, and all the thing that allow self-service the next day?
So I guess it is like during the discovery phase when you are talking with the developers and all, like you are also discovering how they would like to get get the new services, how they would like to be aware of these things. Basically, you are looking for how they would like to consume a service and things like that, and you are building with them basically for that. So you give the constant feedback. So it is not exactly like sugar coating, but you talk with them, you see the needs, you see the pain points, and you develop something and go them as early as possible to verify if that really works for their needs, works for their challenges, and then you kind of evolve from that. There is not really a sugar coating, I would say, but it is more about like understanding their needs, doing something, and delivering it, measuring what you've delivered, and then see if you need to course correct and continue delivering. Sorry.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Anna and Cansu. That was great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.